What if I told you that the answer to your financial struggles has been literally right at your fingertips this entire time? I know that might sound impossible, maybe even absurd. But what you're about to discover is an ancient, sacred method that has transformed the lives of countless people across generations. And today I'm going to share it with you in its purest, most powerful form. Has this ever happened to you? You wake up in the middle of the night, your mind racing with worry about bills, unexpected expenses, or simply wondering how you're going to make it through the month. You've tried everything, budgeting, side hustles, even lottery tickets, but nothing seems to break that cycle of financial anxiety. Well, what if the solution wasn't about working harder, but about aligning your energy with the abundance that's already trying to reach you? Florence Scovel Shinn, one of the greatest metaphysical teachers of all time, taught us something profound. The game of life is a game of boomerangs. Our thoughts, deeds, and words return to us sooner or later with astounding accuracy. Think about that for a moment. Everything you've been thinking and feeling about money has been creating your current reality. But here's the extraordinary news. You can change that reality starting right now, in the next few minutes, with nothing more than a pen in your right hand. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Now, I want you to understand something crucial before we continue. This isn't just another manifestation technique or positive thinking exercise. What you're about to learn is a sacred numerical code. 3 simple digits that carry a vibrational frequency so powerful that when written on your right hand, they create an immediate energetic shift in your reality. Stay with me until the end because the way you activate this code makes all the difference between it working miraculously or not working at all. Scovel Shinn understood that words and thoughts are a tremendous vibratory force. And numbers, my friend, are the universe's most ancient language. They speak directly to the quantum field, bypassing all the mental resistance and limiting beliefs that have been blocking your prosperity. Your right hand, the hand of giving and receiving, the hand of action and manifestation, is about to become a magnet for unexpected money, urgent financial relief, and abundant opportunities. What you're about to discover might surprise you, especially if you've been skeptical about these kinds of methods before. But I challenge you to approach this with an open mind and genuine intention, because this technique has worked for people facing immediate financial emergencies, business owners seeking rapid growth, and everyday individuals who simply needed a breakthrough. The results often come so quickly and in such unexpected ways that people are left absolutely astonished. So right now I want you to grab a pen, preferably with red ink, though I'll explain the alternatives in just a moment, and prepare to write something on your right hand that will change everything. This sacred code, combined with a specific invocation and clearing technique, creates a perfect storm of manifestation energy that opens a gateway that has existed long before any of us were born, hidden in plain sight, waiting for those ready to unlock its potential. This isn't something invented last year by some internet guru trying to sell you a course. This is ancient wisdom, a sacred numerical code that has been passed down through spiritual traditions for centuries, carefully preserved because of its undeniable power to activate energies that are already trying to reach you. You see, the universe isn't withholding abundance from you. You've just been operating on the wrong frequency, like trying to tune into a radio station while being slightly off the dial. All you get is static when the music has been playing all along. Florence Scovel Shinn understood this truth at a level that still resonates today. She said something that might shake you to your core. You will be a failure until you impress the subconscious with the conviction you are a success. Let that sink in for a moment. Your subconscious mind, that powerful force running beneath your conscious awareness, has been programmed with every limiting belief you've ever absorbed about money, from your parents, from society, from your own past disappointments. This method we're about to activate doesn't just talk to your conscious mind. It speaks directly to your subconscious, impressing success into your very energy field. The transformation that happens when you align these 3 sacred numbers with your intention is immediate and visceral. I'm not talking about some distant manifestation that might happen if you're lucky and patient enough. I'm talking about a shift that begins the moment you complete this activation. A shift in your energetic signature that the universe responds to instantly. Money has energy just like everything else in this world. And when you become a vibrational match to it, It has no choice but to flow toward you. If this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button. I bring you practical spiritual techniques that actually work. Real methods you can use immediately to transform your life. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. You've been disappointed before. You've tried affirmations, vision boards, maybe even other manifestation techniques, and nothing seemed to work. But here's the hidden truth about why those methods failed. They were incomplete. They engaged your mind but didn't activate the deeper energetic codes that actually move reality. This is different because it combines the ancient wisdom of numerology, the power of intentional placement on your body, and the precise invocation that opens channels most people don't even know exist. Get ready to receive this great blessing because I'm about to guide you step by step through activating this powerful code. And I need you to approach this with complete faith. Not blind faith, but the kind of faith Scovel Shinn wrote about when she said, "Faith knows it has already received and acts accordingly." That's the mindset shift right there. You're not hoping or wishing or begging the universe. You're claiming what's already yours, what's been waiting in the quantum field for you to simply reach out and take it. The journey we're on right now in these few minutes together has the potential to become a turning point in your entire financial story. Think about the impact this could have not just on your bank account but on your peace of mind, your relationships, your ability to be generous, your freedom to make decisions based on what you truly want rather than what you can afford. That's what real abundance looks like. And it starts with 3 simple numbers on your right hand. Write in the comments, "I'm ready to receive abundance," because declaring your readiness is the first step in this activation. Now I want you to do something powerful with me right now. Close your eyes for just a moment and really imagine what it would feel like to suddenly draw in the wealth you've been dreaming of. Not the vague, more money kind of thinking, but specific, vivid images. If you have a business, picture your phone lighting up with notifications of new orders, customers walking through your door with excitement in their eyes, your sales dashboard showing numbers that make your heart race. If you're employed, imagine that promotion coming through, that raise you've been waiting for, or perhaps an entirely unexpected opportunity landing in your lap. Can you feel that? That slight shift in your chest, that spark of possibility? That's your energy already beginning to align. Florence Scovel Shinn taught us something brilliant when she said, "Imagination is the scissors of the mind." Think about what scissors do. They cut. They separate. They remove what's unwanted. Your imagination is the tool that cuts away the fabric of lack and limitation that's been draped over your reality. Every time you've imagined yourself struggling, barely making it, counting pennies until the next paycheck, you've been using those scissors to design scarcity. But right now we're taking those same scissors and using them to design abundance, to cut a pattern of prosperity so clear and specific that the universe has no choice but to fill it in. Here's something most people don't understand about manifestation, and this is one of those revelations that changes everything once you grasp it. Money doesn't just come from one source. It's not like there's only one door through which abundance can enter your life, and you're just sitting there hoping that door opens. The truth behind how the universe operates is far more magnificent than that. This sacred code we're activating opens multiple channels simultaneously. It's like instead of waiting at one door, you're suddenly surrounded by dozens of doorways, each one leading to a different form of financial blessing. Some people activate this code and win unexpected money through lotteries or games of chance. Others find that their business explodes with new clients seemingly out of nowhere. I've heard stories of people receiving inheritances they didn't know were coming, getting refunds they'd forgotten about, finding opportunities for side income that perfectly matched their skills, or even just having debts mysteriously forgiven. Scovel Shinn believed with absolute conviction that there is a supply for every demand. And this isn't just a nice philosophical idea. It's a fundamental law of the universe. Your demand for financial relief, for abundance, for prosperity already has a supply attached to it. The sacred code simply activates the connection between your demand and that supply. The impact of understanding this cannot be overstated. You're not limited to one path, one method, one way for money to reach you. The universe is infinitely creative and will use whatever channel is most open, most available, most surprising to deliver what you need. Your only job is to stay open to receiving from any direction, to not get attached to how it should come, but to trust that it will come. That's the mindset shift that transforms everything, moving from, "I need money from this specific source," to, I am open to receiving abundance from infinite sources. Type in the comments, abundance flows to me from all directions, and let's amplify this energy together. Now here's where this gets beautifully simple. And I mean that in the most powerful way possible. You don't need crystals shipped from the Himalayas. You don't need to wait for a full moon. You don't need expensive courses or complicated ceremonies that take hours to perform. All you need is something you probably have within arm's reach right now. A pen or marker with red ink. That's it. The simplicity is intentional because Florence Scovel Shinn taught us something profound about how manifestation actually works. She said, "The things we rightly desire come to pass when we have taken the clutch off." And that clutch she's talking about is all the overthinking, all the complicating, all the trying too hard, that actually blocks the flow of abundance. Think about what happens when you grip something too tightly. Your hand cramps, your muscles tense, you actually reduce your ability to hold on. The same thing happens with manifestation. When we make it complicated, when we add layer upon layer of requirements and conditions, we're essentially clutching at abundance instead of allowing it to flow naturally into our lives. This sacred code works precisely because of its simplicity. It's pure intention meeting ancient wisdom meeting physical action. And that combination is unstoppable. Now let's talk about something that might seem like a small detail but is actually crucial to the activation: the color of ink you use. Red is the preferred choice, and there's a specific reason for this that goes beyond aesthetics or tradition. Scovel Shinn understood something that quantum physics is only now beginning to prove: that everything in this universe vibrates at specific frequencies. She taught that every word has a musical vibration, and colors work exactly the same way. They're not just visual experiences. They're energetic frequencies that interact with your own energy field, and the energy field of what you're trying to manifest. Red carries the vibration of action, of passion, of life force energy itself. It's the color of your blood, the color of vitality, the color that says, "I am alive and I am claiming what's mine." When you write this sacred code in red ink on your right hand, you're not just making a visual mark. You're creating an energetic signature that broadcasts on the frequency of manifestation. Red is the color that the universe recognizes as a command, not a request. It's decisive. It's powerful. It's immediate. But here's the thing. I understand not everyone has red ink readily available, and the universe is compassionate and flexible in its responses. Green ink works beautifully because it carries the frequency of growth, prosperity, and nature's abundance. Blue ink activates the throat chakra energy of truth and clear communication with the divine. What's non-negotiable is that you avoid other colors because they carry frequencies that don't align with financial manifestation. They might be beautiful. They might be your favorite, but they won't activate the code properly. This isn't about being rigid or superstitious. It's about understanding the hidden mechanics behind how energy actually moves and transforms reality. The decision to use the right color is part of your commitment to this process. Your declaration that you're serious about this transformation and willing to follow the precise instructions that have been proven to work across generations. Leave a comment saying, "I have my red pen ready," to let me know you're prepared for this activation. Now here's something that makes this technique unlike anything else you've probably tried before. You can activate this code whenever you need it. And I mean literally whenever. 3 o'clock in the morning and you just remembered a bill that's due tomorrow? Activate the code. Got an unexpected expense that's causing your stomach to churn with anxiety? Activate the code. Watching an opportunity slip away because you don't have the funds right now? Activate the code. This isn't something you do once a year during some special planetary alignment. This is your emergency access button to financial relief, available 24/7, 365 days a year. Florence Scovel Shinn wrote something that should bring you immense comfort right now. There are no burdens in the divine design. Read that again and let it penetrate deep. The universe, God, source, whatever you choose to call that infinite intelligence, did not design you to struggle. Financial burdens are not part of your divine blueprint. They're distortions, blockages, misalignments that this method removes through immediate energetic intervention. You're not asking for permission to be abundant. You're not begging for scraps. You're simply realigning with what was always meant to be yours. If you felt that energy shift, show some love with a like. It helps this reach more people who need it and lets me know we're connected in this work. The speed at which this works is honestly what surprises people the most. And it's something I need to prepare you for because the transformation can be so rapid that your logical mind might struggle to accept it. We're talking about manifestations within hours, sometimes even minutes. Money appearing from sources you never expected. Opportunities presenting themselves seemingly out of nowhere. Debts being resolved through circumstances you couldn't have predicted. I've witnessed people activate this code in the morning and have money in their hands by afternoon. Not through anything they consciously did, but through the invisible orchestration of events that happens when you properly align your energy. Scovel Shinn taught that the long arm of God reaches out over people and conditions. And that's exactly what happens here. That divine arm moves through your reality, touching people who owe you money and suddenly remember, touching employers who decide you deserve that bonus, touching circumstances and rearranging them in your favor. It's not magic in the sense of breaking natural laws. It's magic in the sense of working with laws that most people don't even know exist. The hidden truth behind sudden financial manifestations is that they're not sudden at all from the universe's perspective. They were always there in the quantum field of possibility, waiting for you to become a vibrational match. Your first time doing this might feel surreal because you've been conditioned to believe that money comes slowly, that you have to work hard for every penny, that financial relief takes time. But what if that's just a story you've been told? A limiting belief that's been keeping you locked in struggle. The impact of experiencing your first rapid manifestation will shake that belief system to its core. Suddenly, you'll realize that you've had access to this power all along. You just didn't know how to activate it properly. Drop a comment saying, "Money comes to me quickly and easily." Claim this truth right now. Now, for those of you who have worked with sacred codes before, who've experienced the power of numerical frequencies and intentional activation, you already know what I'm talking about. You felt that undeniable shift when the code locks in. You've witnessed money appearing in ways that defy logical explanation. You've experienced that beautiful moment when you realize this isn't wishful thinking. This is real, tangible transformation happening in your physical reality. You don't need me to convince you because you've lived it. But for those who are new to this journey, understand that you're standing on the shoulders of countless people who have walked this path before you and can testify to its power. Florence Scovel Shinn had a practice that was revolutionary for her time and remains essential today. She would affirm, "I give thanks for the immediate, complete, and perfect manifestation," before anything had appeared in the physical world. Think about the boldness of that statement, giving thanks for something that hasn't manifested yet. But she understood a profound truth about how reality works. Gratitude isn't just a nice feeling you have after you receive something. Gratitude is actually the frequency that magnetizes abundance toward you. When you give thanks before manifestation, you're operating from a place of absolute certainty, of knowing that it's already done in the energetic realm and the physical manifestation is simply catching up. This is why I want to mention something practical that will serve you well on this journey. Making sure you can easily find this video whenever you need a financial boost is important, and there's a simple way to do that. Hitting that like button actually bookmarks this content in a way that makes it accessible when you're in urgent need. Scovel Shinn emphasized the importance of recording and revisiting affirmations. And she knew something crucial. That words are a powerful vibration that strengthens with repetition and intention. Every time you come back to this activation, every time you perform this ritual again, you're not starting from zero. You're building on the energetic momentum you've already created, amplifying the signal you're sending out to the universe. Think about learning any skill. The first time you try it, there's hesitation, uncertainty, maybe even doubt. But the 10th time, the 20th time, you're operating with confidence and precision. The same principle applies here. Your first activation plants a seed. Your subsequent activations water that seed, nurture it, and help it grow into a tree that bears fruit continuously. The impact of consistent practice cannot be overstated. And having easy access to come back and reinforce this code, whenever you feel your financial energy dipping, is like having a reset button for your prosperity consciousness. Behind the scenes of every successful manifestation is usually a pattern of repeated alignment, of coming back to the practice even when doubt creeps in, of reinforcing the energetic signature you're creating. This isn't about obsessing or desperately repeating the ritual 100 times a day. It's about knowing you have this tool available whenever you need to recalibrate your frequency. Write in the comments, "I trust the process completely." Let this declaration strengthen your faith. Now let's talk about why numerology holds such profound power, and why this particular sacred code, made up of just 3 digits, can create such a massive shift in your financial reality. Numbers aren't just mathematical concepts we use to count and measure. They're actually the fundamental language of the universe itself, the way creation speaks and organizes energy into form. Florence Scovel Shinn recognized this truth deeply when she taught that numbers are divine language, the vocabulary through which God communicates the structure of reality. She understood that God is the giver and the gift, meaning that the divine presence isn't separate from what manifests. The numbers themselves carry that divine mathematical perfection that brings order to chaos and abundance to lack. Every single thing in existence operates on numerical patterns. Your heartbeat follows a rhythm. The seasons cycle in predictable sequences. The planets orbit in mathematical precision. Even your DNA is essentially a code written in the language of numbers. When you tap into specific numerical frequencies, you're not doing something external to nature. You're aligning with nature's deepest operating system. These 3 digits we're about to activate have been chosen because they resonate at exactly the frequency that money vibrates at in the quantum field. It's like having the exact combination to a safe that's been locked. And once you input that combination correctly, the door simply opens. What makes this even more powerful is where you're going to write these numbers, on your right hand specifically. This isn't arbitrary or random, and it's certainly not something you should overlook or change. The right hand carries deep spiritual significance across virtually every ancient tradition and wisdom system on Earth. It represents the hand of giving and the hand of receiving, the hand of action and manifestation, the hand that reaches out to claim what's yours. In energy work, your right side is your masculine side, your active side, the side that projects your will into the world and draws experiences back to you. Scovel Shinn taught a principle that perfectly explains why the right hand is essential. What you give, you receive, pressed down and running over. Your right hand is literally the instrument through which you give and receive in the physical world. When you write this sacred code on it, you're programming your primary tool of interaction with the material world to operate on the frequency of abundance. Every time you use that hand throughout your day, touching things, gesturing, working, creating, you're unconsciously reinforcing and broadcasting that abundance frequency out into your environment. Imagine your right hand becoming like a beacon, constantly emitting the signal of prosperity. People respond to it even if they can't consciously see the numbers written there. Opportunities seem to appear wherever you reach. The hidden mechanics of this are fascinating when you understand that your hands are actually covered in energy meridians, powerful channels that connect to every organ system and energetic center in your body. Type in the comments, "My right hand attracts wealth." Activate this intention through your words. Now, what takes this practice from powerful to absolutely transformative is the addition of divine assistance. Specifically, we're going to call upon Archangel Uriel. If you're not familiar with angelic energies, don't let that create any barrier for you. Archangel Uriel is known across spiritual traditions as the angel of wisdom, illumination, and most importantly for our purposes, the angel who governs manifestation and abundance in the material world. When you invoke Uriel's presence during this activation, you're essentially plugging into a cosmic amplifier that magnifies your intention exponentially. Florence Scovel Shinn was a master at invoking divine assistance in her work. She would often pray, "Infinite Spirit, open the way for the divine design of my life to manifest." And in that simple statement, she was welcoming cooperation from forces far greater than her individual will. She understood something crucial. We're not meant to manifest alone, struggling through sheer force of personal effort. We're meant to partner with the divine, to work in harmony with angelic beings whose entire purpose is to help humanity thrive. Uriel specifically responds to calls for financial help, for illuminating the path to prosperity, for removing obstacles that have been blocking your abundance. The beautiful thing about working with Archangel Uriel is that this being operates outside of time and space as we understand it. Uriel can orchestrate events across multiple timelines, influence decisions in the minds of people you've never met, and arrange circumstances with a precision that would be impossible for your conscious mind to coordinate. When you write that sacred code on your right hand and invoke Uriel's assistance, you're essentially giving permission for divine intervention in your financial affairs. The impact of this partnership is where the real magic happens. where ordinary manifestation becomes extraordinary transformation. But here's where we need to address something that might be blocking you right now, perhaps without you even realizing it. Behind the scenes of your conscious thoughts about wanting money, there might be layers of guilt, shame, or negative programming about wealth that you've absorbed over the years. Maybe you were taught that money is the root of all evil, or that rich people are greedy, or that spirituality and prosperity can't coexist. These beliefs are like anchors dragging behind you as you try to sail toward abundance, and they need to be cleared. This is where we integrate the ancient Hawaiian practice of Ho'oponopono, which is essentially a method of reconciliation and forgiveness that clears energetic blockages at the deepest level. We're going to use specific trigger phrases that dissolve those negative financial beliefs, freeing you from the invisible chains that have been keeping you in lack. Scovel Shinn taught that resentment, condemnation, and criticism are the most deadly poisons. And she was absolutely right. These toxic emotions, especially when directed at money or wealthy people, create a vibrational barrier that repels the very thing you're trying to attract. The Ho'oponopono practice washes that poison away, purifying your relationship with prosperity. Comment below. I release all negative money beliefs. Let this clearing begin right now. Now, what happens when you free yourself from those limiting thoughts about money is nothing short of miraculous. It's like you've been trying to drive with the parking brake on your entire life, wondering why everyone else seems to move forward so easily while you struggle and strain. The moment you release that brake, the moment you clear those limiting beliefs, suddenly you have access to the financial success that was always meant to be yours. Florence Scovel Shinn wrote that the imaging faculty is the creative faculty, and she was pointing to something profound. Your imagination, your ability to envision and hold mental images, is literally the tool through which you create your reality. But if that canvas is already covered with old paint, images of lack, memories of financial struggle, inherited beliefs about money being scarce or dirty, then you can't paint the masterpiece of abundance you're meant to create. This is why we must clear the canvas first. We must wipe away the old conditioning, the societal programming, the family patterns that have been running in the background like corrupted software. Some of you right now might be carrying your grandmother's fear of poverty, your father's resentment toward wealthy people, or your mother's belief that you have to sacrifice everything to earn money. These aren't even your beliefs, yet they're controlling your financial reality. The transformation that happens when you identify and release these inherited limitations is extraordinary. Suddenly, doors open that you didn't even know were closed. Opportunities appear that were always there but invisible to you because your belief system couldn't recognize them. What makes this activation so uniquely powerful is that we're not relying on just one method or one approach. We are combining ancient numerology, intentional placement, divine invocation, and deep energetic clearing. We're combining three distinct energies into a unified force that works on multiple levels of your being simultaneously. Think of it like a three-strand rope versus a single thread. The numerology works on the mathematical, vibrational level of reality. The Archangel Uriel invocation works on the spiritual, divine assistance level. The Ho'oponopono clearing works on the emotional, subconscious programming level. Each one is powerful alone, but together they create something exponentially more potent. Scovel Shinn taught that faith is the substance of things hoped for. And I want you to really understand what she meant by that. Faith isn't just believing that something might happen if you're lucky. Faith is recognizing that the thing you desire already exists in energetic form, and your role is simply to become a vibrational match to it, so it can materialize in physical form. When you combine these three energies, when you activate the sacred code with numerology, call in divine assistance through Archangel Uriel, and clear your blocks with Ho'oponopono, you're creating substantial manifestation power. Substantial meaning it has substance, it has weight, it has the density required to pull your desire from the quantum field into your physical experience. The hidden truth behind why this method works when others have failed you is precisely this combination. Most manifestation techniques only address one dimension of the problem. Put in the comments, I am a powerful manifester. Own this truth completely. Now, before we move into the actual activation itself, there's one more element that's absolutely non-negotiable, and that's gratitude. Not the superficial thank you might say out of politeness, but deep, genuine gratitude that comes from a place of knowing that what you're asking for is already done. Florence Scovel Shinn emphasized something that most people completely miss. She taught that gratitude is the law of increase, meaning that thankfulness isn't just a nice spiritual practice. It's actually a cosmic law that multiplies whatever you're grateful for. When you give thanks before the money arrives, you're operating from a state of absolute certainty, and the universe responds to that certainty by delivering exactly what you've already claimed. Think about how you feel when someone thanks you genuinely versus when they take what you give them for granted. You want to give more to the person who appreciates what you've already given, right? The universe operates on this same principle. Gratitude creates an energetic loop. You give thanks. The universe gives more for you to be grateful for. You give more thanks. The universe gives even more. It's exponential growth, not linear. This is why we express gratitude both before we perform the technique and after we complete it. Before, because we're acknowledging that it's already done in the spiritual realm. After, because we're sealing that acknowledgement and opening ourselves to receive even more blessings than we initially asked for. But gratitude alone isn't enough if it's not paired with absolute faith. This is where so many people stumble on their manifestation journey. They go through the motions. They say the words. They perform the rituals. But deep down there's a voice whispering, "This probably won't work for me." That whisper, that tiny seed of doubt, is enough to short-circuit the entire process. You must place your complete faith in the effectiveness of this method. Not hope, not wishful thinking, but unshakable conviction that this works because it's based on universal laws that cannot fail. Scovel Shinn used a perfect metaphor when she declared, "Every man is Aladdin with his wonderful lamp." And what she meant is that you already possess everything you need to manifest abundance. The lamp is within you. The genie is within you. The magic is within you. But here's the crucial part that most people miss. The lamp doesn't activate itself. You have to rub it. And what rubs the lamp? Faith. Faith is the action that awakens the power, that calls forth the manifestation, that transforms potential into reality. Without faith, you're just holding a dusty old lamp wondering why nothing's happening. With faith, you're commanding the universe to rearrange itself according to your vision. The impact of approaching this technique with absolute conviction versus approaching it with skepticism is the difference between night and day, between struggle and ease, between lack and abundance. Your faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. Right below, "I have complete faith in abundance." Declare this with absolute certainty. Now, I know some of you watching this right now are skeptical. Maybe you've been burned before by promises that didn't deliver. Maybe you've tried manifestation techniques that left you feeling foolish. Maybe your logical mind is screaming that writing numbers on your hand can't possibly change your bank account. I get it, and I'm not asking you to abandon your critical thinking. What I am asking you to do is try this with full conviction just once, even if that skepticism is still whispering in the background. Florence Scovel Shinn taught something vital when she said, "Doubt and fear poison the soul." And what she understood is that you don't need to have all the answers before you take the step. You don't need to understand exactly how electricity works to flip a light switch and trust that the room will illuminate. The beautiful thing about universal laws is that they work whether you believe in them or not. Gravity doesn't require your faith to function, but manifestation does require your participation. Your willingness to engage with the process even before the logical explanation satisfies your mind. Step forward in faith. Perform this activation with genuine intention, and let the results speak for themselves. The transformation happens not when you understand every mechanism behind it, but when you decide to trust the process enough to actually do it. Your skepticism has protected you from disappointment. Yes, but it's also kept you trapped in the same financial patterns. What if just this once you chose possibility over protection? Here's something that should give you confidence even if doubt lingers. This technique, this sacred code, these principles we're working with, they haven't survived across generations and cultures because they're trendy or popular. They have survived because they work. They've endured because they work. Think about that for a moment. If writing specific numbers with intention and invoking divine assistance produced no results, would people still be doing it hundreds of years later? Would these practices have traveled across oceans, been translated into dozens of languages, been passed down from teacher to student through countless lineages? Of course not. The things that don't work fade away quickly, forgotten in the dustbin of failed ideas. Scovel Shinn recognized this truth when she wrote that every great work, Every big accomplishment has been brought into manifestation through holding to the vision. And she was pointing to a pattern that repeats throughout human history. The pyramids were built because someone held a vision. The great cathedrals rose because craftsmen held a vision. Every invention, every breakthrough, every moment of human progress came from someone holding a vision with such intensity that it had to manifest. This ancient vision of activating prosperity through sacred codes has persisted precisely because it produces results that validate its continued practice. You're not being asked to pioneer some untested theory. You're being invited to participate in a proven system that has created financial breakthroughs for people across every continent, every culture, every era. The journey you're on right now connects you to that long lineage of manifestors, of people who understood that reality is more malleable than it appears. Comment: I choose to believe in possibility. Make this decision right now. Now, the moment you've been waiting for. The sacred code itself. The 3 numbers that will transform your right hand into a magnet for financial abundance. Are you ready? Take your pen with red ink or green or blue, and write this on your right wrist clearly and boldly. 520, that's it. 3 simple digits that carry within them a vibrational frequency so precisely calibrated to the energy of money that when you activate them properly, they create an irresistible pull for financial opportunities, unexpected windfalls, and abundant cash flow into your life. Florence Scovel Shinn taught us that you attract what you vibrate. And this is the essence of why 520 works so powerfully. These aren't random numbers. In the ancient science of numerology, 5 represents change and transformation, the breaking of old patterns and the invitation of new possibilities. 2 represents balance, partnership, and the flow of giving and receiving. 0 represents infinite potential, the void from which all creation emerges, the unlimited nature of divine supply. When you combine these 3 frequencies together, you get a code that says, I am ready for financial transformation. I am open to balanced exchange, and I tap into infinite abundance. The universe hears this vibration and responds accordingly. Write these numbers large enough that you can see them clearly throughout your day. Don't make them tiny or hidden, that defeats the purpose. This isn't something to be ashamed of or to hide. This is a declaration, a statement of intention, a claim on the prosperity that's rightfully yours. Every time you glance down at your right hand and see 520 written there, you're reinforcing the activation, reminding your subconscious mind of the frequency you're broadcasting, anchoring yourself in abundance consciousness, even in moments when doubt tries to creep back in. Here's something liberating that I need you to understand. You don't have to wait for some perfect moment to do this. You don't need to check the lunar calendar, wait for a specific day of the week, or time it with planetary alignments. You can activate this code right now, this very moment, regardless of what day it is or what time it shows on your clock. Scovel Shinn believed that timing is a trick of the lower mind. And she was absolutely right. Your logical mind loves to create obstacles and conditions. I'll do it on the full moon. I'll wait until Monday. I need to be in a better mood first. These are all just delay tactics that keep you stuck in lack. Divine timing doesn't work on human schedules. Divine timing responds to one thing only, your readiness. The moment you decide you're ready, the moment you make the firm decision that you're done with financial struggle, and you're claiming your abundance now, that's when divine timing kicks in. The universe doesn't care if it's Tuesday or Saturday, if the moon is waxing or waning. What matters is the quality of your intention, the strength of your conviction, the clarity of your decision. Drop a comment saying, I activate 520 right now. Let your declaration be witnessed. Now, before you actually write those numbers on your wrist, let's talk about setting yourself up for maximum success. Find a quiet space. Find a quiet place where you feel comfortable and won't be interrupted for the next few minutes. This could be your bedroom, your car. What matters isn't the location itself, but the energy you create within that space. Elevate your vibration. Take a few deep breaths and consciously elevate your vibration. Think about something that makes you feel abundant already. Maybe it's the love you have for your family, gratitude for your health, or appreciation for the roof over your head. Connect with that feeling of abundance in whatever form you can access it right now, because you want to be vibrationally aligned with prosperity before you activate this code. Florence Scovel Shinn advised us wisely when she taught that we create our world by the words we speak. And this principle extends to the energy we hold while performing sacred practices. If you approach this activation while feeling desperate, anxious, or doubtful, those frequencies get encoded into the ritual and dilute its power. But if you approach it from a place of elevated emotion, of joyful expectation, of confident knowing, then those higher frequencies supercharge the activation and accelerate your manifestation. Take a moment right now to shift your internal state. Put on music that makes you feel powerful if that helps. Light a candle if you have one nearby. Do whatever it takes to get yourself into that elevated energetic space where you feel connected to the abundance that's flowing toward you. Once you're in that state, once you feel that shift in your energy, that's when you take your pen and with complete focused intention, you write 520 on your right wrist. Not hesitantly, not tentatively, but boldly and confidently. Make those numbers big enough to see clearly. Don't hide them in tiny script that requires squinting. The size of your writing reflects the size of your claim on abundance. Scovel Shinn taught that boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. And she understood that the universe responds to decisive action, to clear declarations, to unambiguous claims. When you write those numbers boldly, you're telling the universe, I'm not asking permission. I'm not hoping for a maybe. I am claiming what's mine with absolute authority. The act of writing itself is important. This isn't typing on a phone or visualizing the numbers in your mind. This is physical action. Ink meeting your hand, creating a visible symbol that bridges the gap between intention and manifestation. There's something primal and powerful about marking your own body with symbols of power. Leave a comment. 520 is written on my right hand. Seal this activation with your testimony. Now, let me tell you exactly what happens energetically when you activate 520 on your right hand. This code is specifically calibrated to attract 3 forms of money simultaneously: unexpected money, easy money, and immediate money. These aren't vague concepts, but precise frequencies that pull different streams of abundance toward you. Unexpected money comes from sources you didn't anticipate. A refund you forgot about, a gift from someone thinking of you, a settlement, an inheritance, an opportunity that appears out of nowhere. Easy money flows without struggle or strain. Sales that close effortlessly, clients who say yes immediately, promotions that land in your lap, winning tickets, found money. Immediate money responds to urgent needs. When you have a bill due tomorrow, and suddenly the exact amount shows up today through channels you couldn't have predicted. The brilliance of 520 is that it doesn't limit how abundance reaches you. It opens you to receive the exact amount you need right now through whatever pathway is most available in this moment. Florence Scovel Shinn affirmed with absolute conviction that there is no lack in the divine mind. And what she meant is that the source of all abundance, God, universe, infinite intelligence, whatever name resonates with you, doesn't operate in scarcity. There's no cosmic budget that runs out, no divine accountant rationing prosperity. The supply is infinite, eternal, inexhaustible. The only lack exists in human consciousness, in our limited thinking, in our programmed beliefs about scarcity. When you activate 520, you're bypassing your limited human mind and tapping directly into that infinite supply that's always been there. Always will be there, waiting for you to access it. This is the hidden truth that changes everything once you grasp it. You're not trying to create money out of nothing. You're not begging the universe to make an exception for you. You're simply aligning yourself with the flow of abundance that's already moving through reality. And 520 is the frequency that tunes you into that flow. Think of it like radio stations broadcasting all around you constantly. Just because you can't hear them doesn't mean they're not there. Once you tune to the right frequency, suddenly the music comes through crystal clear. That's what's happening right now as you hold your right hand with those 3 numbers written on it. So if you haven't done it yet, I need you to write 520 right now. Not after this video ends, not later tonight, not tomorrow when you have more time. Right now. Pause the video if you need to grab a pen. But do not move forward without those numbers on your right hand. Scovel Shinn emphasized that now is the appointed time. And she understood something crucial about how spiritual work actually functions. It doesn't happen in the past because the past is gone. It doesn't happen in the future because the future never arrives. Spiritual work, manifestation, energetic activation, all of it happens in the eternal present moment, which is right now. Write in the comments, 520 is activated on my hand. Now declare this completion with certainty. Now that you have 520 written boldly on your right wrist, we're going to amplify this activation exponentially by invoking divine assistance. Create the circuit. Take your right hand, the one with the sacred code written on it, and gently hold it with your left hand. This creates a circuit, a closed loop of energy flowing through your body. Your left hand, representing your receptive feminine energy, is now cradling your right hand, representing your active masculine energy. Together they form a complete system, and this physical gesture signals to your subconscious mind and to the spiritual realm that you're ready to receive divine intervention. Close your eyes, close your eyes. This is important. When you close your eyes, you shut out the physical world with all its distractions and limitations, and you open your inner vision to perceive what Florence Scovel Shinn taught about when she said that closed eyes see the invisible. Behind your eyelids exists a realm of infinite possibility, a dimension where angels dwell, where your highest self resides, where the divine mind orchestrates miracles. You might feel warmth, tingling, a sense of expansion, or simply a profound peace. Whatever you experience is exactly what you need to experience right now. Triple invocation. With your eyes closed and your hands positioned, you're going to call upon Archangel Uriel 3 times. Not just saying the name mechanically, but calling with intention, with reverence, with the understanding that you're reaching across dimensions to request assistance from a being of pure light who exists specifically to help humanity thrive. Say it out loud if you can, whisper it if you must, but let the words have sound and vibration. Archangel Uriel. Pause and feel the name resonate through your body. Archangel Uriel. Notice how the energy shifts, how the atmosphere becomes charged. Archangel Uriel. Complete the triple invocation and trust that your call has been heard and answered. Scovel Shinn used repetition constantly in her work because she understood that words repeated gain power. The repetition is for you to deepen your focus, to strengthen your conviction, to build energetic momentum. Each time you speak Archangel Uriel's name, you're layering intention upon intention, creating a vibrational call so strong that it cannot be ignored. The number 3 itself carries profound significance. Completion, divine perfection, the union of mind, body, and spirit. Comment below. Archangel Uriel, I welcome your assistance. Extend your invitation through these words. Now, with Archangel Uriel's presence activated and surrounding you, it's time to make your demand upon the universe. Notice I said demand, not request, not hope, not wish. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that you must make your demands upon the universal, and she chose that word deliberately. A demand is clear, direct, unambiguous. A demand assumes that what you're asking for is already yours, and you're simply claiming it. The declaration. So with confidence, with authority, with the full weight of your divine right to abundance, you're going to state clearly and out loud, I receive money urgently to more than sufficiently meet all my needs. Code 520. Code 520. Code 520. Feel the power in those words. You're declaring I receive as a present tense reality. You're stating that this money comes urgently, meaning right now. You're affirming that it more than sufficiently meets your needs, meaning there's overflow. The ninefold seal. After you've made this declaration once with full conviction, you're going to repeat the code itself 9 times. You can say just 520 or code 520, but you must reach 9 repetitions minimum. This isn't arbitrary. 9 is the number of completion in divine mathematics. The number where manifestation moves from potential into inevitable reality. If you fall short of 9, the activation doesn't complete properly, and you won't get the full effect. The 9 repetitions create a complete energetic circuit that locks the code into your energy field and broadcasts it at full strength. Type in the comments, I have completed my 9 repetitions. Affirm your commitment to the full process. Here's something crucial that separates those who get miraculous results from those who get nothing. The quality of energy you bring to this practice. Going through these motions mechanically like you're checking items off a to-do list will produce mechanical results, which is to say no results at all. When you repeat those 9 invocations of 520, when you call upon Archangel Uriel, you must do it with genuine purpose, with heartfelt intention, with the full presence of your being engaged in the process. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that loving your work means putting your whole heart into it. This means that spiritual work requires your complete, heart-centered participation. You can say the words Archangel Uriel 3 times in 10 seconds while thinking about dinner. Or you can say those words with reverence, with genuine invitation, with the understanding that you're opening a doorway between dimensions. Only one of these approaches activates the full power available to you. This is where your higher self needs to be engaged. Not just your ego mind that wants quick results. Your higher self is that part of you that exists beyond time and space, that's connected to infinite wisdom, that knows your divine blueprint and understands exactly what you need for your greatest good. When you perform this activation from your higher self rather than your desperate, grasping ego, the energy completely transforms. The desperation falls away, replaced by calm certainty. The anxiety dissolves, replaced by peaceful knowing. You're no longer begging, you're claiming. You're no longer hoping, you're knowing. Scovel Shinn wrote something that should become your guiding principle in all manifestation work. Love seems to be the keynote to success and happiness. Love is the highest vibrational frequency that exists. And when you infuse this practice with genuine love, love for yourself, love for the abundance you're claiming, love for the divine forces assisting you, love for the transformation unfolding in your life, you create an energetic signature so pure and powerful that the universe has no choice but to respond with matching abundance. Love dissolves all resistance, all doubt, all blocks. Love is the master key that unlocks every door. So, as you continue with this activation, check in with yourself. Are you rushing? Slow down. Are you distracted? Bring your focus back. Are you performing this from a place of fear and lack? Shift into love and gratitude. The journey of transformation requires your full presence. Comment. I perform this practice with love and intention. Make this your sacred commitment. Now, once you've completed your 9 repetitions of the code, or more if you feel called to go beyond 9, you're going to seal this entire activation with a simple but powerful declaration. Say out loud with complete conviction, code activated. Those 2 words are your final stamp, your cosmic signature on this manifestation contract. It's like hitting the send button on an email or locking a door. It completes the circuit and sets everything in motion. Florence Scovel Shinn believed deeply that, it is done unto you as you believe. And when you declare code activated, you're essentially telling the universe and your own subconscious mind that this is finished, complete, accomplished. There's no more waiting, no more wondering if it worked. It's activated. Period. Here's something beautiful. You only need to perform this full activation once. Not every day, not weekly, just once with genuine intention, and it's locked into your energy field. The 520 written on your right hand will fade eventually as you wash your hands and go about your life, but the energetic imprint remains. The activation you just completed has created a permanent shift in your vibrational frequency. Of course, if you face another urgent financial need in the future, you can absolutely perform this ritual again to amplify and refresh the energy. But the foundation you've just established doesn't disappear. Now comes a crucial clearing component that addresses something most people don't even realize is blocking their money flow. We're going to use the ancient Hawaiian practice of Ho'oponopono to cleanse any guilt, shame, or conflicting feelings you have about wanting and receiving money. Behind the scenes of your conscious desire for abundance, there might be subconscious programming telling you that wanting money is greedy, that rich people are bad, or that spirituality and wealth can't coexist. These hidden beliefs are like anchors keeping your ship from sailing toward prosperity, and we're about to cut those anchors loose. Scovel Shinn taught something profound when she said, you cannot make bad good or good bad, meaning that money itself is neutral. It's energy. It's a tool. It's neither moral nor immoral. The confusion and judgment people project onto money is what blocks its flow. We're going to clear that confusion right now using 3 powerful Ho'oponopono trigger phrases. As you say each phrase, gently touch the 520 written on your right hand, creating a direct connection between the clearing work and the activation you've just completed. You'll repeat each phrase 3 times out loud, allowing the words to penetrate deep into your subconscious and dissolve those limiting beliefs that have been sabotaging your abundance. These phrases might seem simple, almost childlike, but their simplicity is precisely what makes them so effective at bypassing your intellectual resistance and speaking directly to the part of your mind that's been programmed with money blocks. Leave a comment saying, I clear all guilt about money. Participate in this collective cleansing energy. Money like rice. The first phrase you're going to speak while touching that 520 on your right hand is, money like rice. Say it 3 times with feeling and intention. Money like rice. Money like rice. Money like rice. There's profound wisdom in this image. Rice represents abundance in most of the world's cultures. It's plentiful. It multiplies. It sustains life. It's valued but not rare. When you say money like rice, you're programming your subconscious to see money the same way you see rice, as something naturally abundant, something that exists in vast quantities, something that's normal and accessible. I swim in a well of rice. The second phrase takes this even deeper into your consciousness. Say 3 times, feeling the sensation those words create. I swim in a well of rice. I swim in a well of rice. I swim in a well of rice. You're not just seeing abundance from the outside anymore. You're immersed in it, surrounded by it, swimming through it like water. This phrase reprograms you to stop viewing yourself as separate from abundance and start experiencing yourself as completely enveloped by prosperity. Chest of money. The third phrase anchors the concept of accumulation and security. Repeat 3 times. Chest of money. Chest of money. Chest of money. This image addresses the fear of money coming and going, the anxiety about temporary windfalls that disappear as quickly as they arrive. A chest implies storage, safety, treasure that's yours to keep. You're telling your subconscious that not only does money flow to you abundantly, but you also have secure storage for this wealth. It accumulates. It stays. It's protected. These simple phrases are doing revolutionary work behind the scenes of your conscious mind. They're dismantling years, possibly decades, of societal conditioning that taught you money is scarce, that wanting wealth is selfish, that you should feel guilty for desiring financial freedom. Scovel Shinn wrote extensively about what she called the race mind, this collective unconscious programming that humanity inherits and passes down. Right now, with these 3 phrases, you're consciously rejecting those inherited limitations. You're making a decisive break with poverty consciousness and claiming your birthright of abundance. Type below, I reject poverty consciousness completely. Make this your declaration of independence from lack. Now we're going to seal everything you've done with one final powerful declaration that brings this entire activation to completion. Touch the 520 written on your right hand one more time, connecting physically with the code you've activated, and say these words with absolute conviction. I receive money urgently and immediately, more than enough to meet all my needs. Thank you because it is done. Notice the certainty in that statement. Not I hope to receive, but I receive as present tense reality. Not just enough, but more than enough. And most importantly, thanking the universe in past tense. Because it is done. This final declaration is your signature on the cosmic contract. Your acknowledgement that the transaction is complete. Your acceptance of the abundance that's already flowing toward you. The transformation you've undergone in these few minutes is real, tangible, and about to manifest in ways that will astonish you. Here's something beautiful about how universal laws work. When you share knowledge that uplifts others, when you become a conduit for spreading truth and empowerment, you multiply the blessings in your own life exponentially. Scovel Shinn taught that you are a golden link in the chain of good, meaning you're not just a recipient of divine abundance, but also a transmitter of it. When you share this video, this technique, this sacred code with others who are struggling financially, you're not diminishing your own prosperity. You're amplifying it. The universe recognizes generosity and responds with even greater abundance. By sharing this information, you're potentially changing the trajectory of someone's entire life. Comment. I share this blessing with gratitude and love. Extend the abundance you're receiving to others through your declaration. If you've stayed with me all the way through to this moment, you are serious about transformation. You were meant to find this video and meant to activate 520 on your right hand today. If this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button so we can keep this momentum going. Leave me a comment saying, this message was meant for me, so I know you made it all the way through. Tap that like button to help this video reach more people who desperately need it.